In a quiet valley surrounded by low green hills, there lived an old farmer and his son. Their home was simple, a small wooden house with a sloping roof, standing beside a narrow dirt road that curved through the village like a slow-moving river. Every morning, before the sun had fully risen, the village would come to life. You could hear the soft creaking of wooden doors opening. Women would walk toward the river, carrying clay pots balanced on their hips. Men would lead oxen toward the fields, their boots leaving deep marks in the damp earth. Smoke slowly rose from kitchen fires as breakfast was prepared. And in the middle of this quiet rhythm of life stood the farmer's small field. It was not the largest field in the valley, nor the most fertile, but it was enough. The farmer owned very few possessions, but there was one thing that made his neighbors look at him with envy. He owned a magnificent white horse. The horse was tall and strong, with a smooth coat that shone in the sunlight. When it ran through the fields, its mane flowed behind it like a white banner in the wind. People often stopped along the road just to watch it. One morning, while the farmer was repairing a wooden fence, a group of villagers gathered nearby. "That horse is worth a fortune," one man said. "You could sell it to the king's soldiers," another added. "They are always looking for horses like that." The farmer hammered another nail into the fence and replied calmly, "Maybe." The villagers looked at each other, slightly puzzled. "Maybe?" one of them laughed. "If that horse were mine, I would sell it immediately and live like a rich man." The farmer simply smiled and returned to his work. Days passed, and life in the village continued as usual. Children ran along the dusty road chasing one another. Farmers worked long hours in the fields. Women gathered near the well, talking as they pulled water from the earth. Then one morning, something unexpected happened. When the farmer walked into the stable to feed the horse, the stall was empty. The horse had disappeared. Word spread through the village faster than a summer storm. By afternoon, a crowd had gathered near the farmer's house. The villagers shook their heads in sympathy. "What terrible luck," one woman said. "That horse was your greatest treasure," said another. The farmer listened quietly. Then he said the same words he had said before. "Maybe." The villagers exchanged confused looks. Maybe? How could losing such a horse be anything but terrible? But the farmer said nothing more. Days passed. Without the horse, the farmer and his son had to work even harder in the fields. They carried tools on their shoulders instead of transporting them on horseback. The work was slower, but life continued. Then, one afternoon, as the sun began to sink behind the hills, something remarkable happened. A cloud of dust appeared along the road leading to the farm. The farmer's horse had returned, and it had not come back alone. Behind it ran 7 wild horses, strong, untamed, beautiful. The villagers rushed to the farmer's home again, their faces filled with excitement. "This is incredible," one man exclaimed. "You were lucky after all." "Now you have 8 horses," another said. "You must be the luckiest man in the valley." The farmer looked at the horses calmly and said, "Maybe." Once again, the villagers did not understand. Days later, the farmer's son began the difficult task of training one of the wild horses. At first, the horse resisted fiercely. It kicked, it reared, it fought against the rope tied to its harness. But the young man was determined. Day after day, he returned to the field, trying to tame the powerful animal. Then one afternoon, the horse suddenly leaped high into the air. The young man lost his balance. He fell hard onto the ground. The sound of the fall echoed across the field. His leg was broken. When the villagers heard the news, they once again came to the farmer's house. "This is terrible," they said. "Your only son is injured. He will not be able to work in the fields. How unlucky you are." The farmer listened quietly and replied, "Maybe." Weeks passed. The young man lay inside the house recovering slowly. Then one morning, The sound of drums echoed through the valley. Soldiers from the king's army rode into the village. They were recruiting young men. Every family watched anxiously as the soldiers moved from house to house. Strong young men were taken away to join the army. Some mothers cried. Fathers stood silently, their faces heavy with worry. But when the soldiers reached the farmer's house, they saw the young man lying inside with his broken leg. They shook their heads and continued down the road. The young man was left behind. That evening, the villagers returned once more. This time they spoke softly. "You were right," one of them said. "Your son's injury was actually a blessing. Many of our sons have been taken away." The farmer looked across the quiet fields as the sun slowly disappeared behind the hills. Then he said the same simple word he had spoken every time. "Maybe." He turned back toward the house. Because the farmer understood something the others did not. Life is too large to judge in a single moment. What looks like good fortune today may become tomorrow's hardship. And what feels like misfortune may one day reveal itself as a hidden gift. Events themselves are neither good nor bad. Only time reveals their meaning. And sometimes, only patience reveals the truth. The wise learn to wait and simply say, maybe. If you enjoyed this story and the lesson it carries, take a moment to like the video. It helps more people discover these timeless lessons. You can also share it with someone who might need this reminder today. And if you enjoy stories that reveal the deeper wisdom hidden in everyday life, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next daily lesson. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.